Welcome back to another Awareness to Action Enneagram podcast. I am with my waggish co-hosts, María Sikora and María José Munita. Have you heard of this word, waggish?
I'm not familiar with that word.
Really? Okay, so this word comes from our longtime listener, Joel, who said I should use this word. It means playfully, humorous, and mischievous.
That's interesting.
That.
Yeah, that's not a word I was familiar with.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
Joel always brings light and insight into our world.
This is true. This is true. All right. So we've been, off the interwebs for a while, or at least I have. We finished Fathom season 5. We finished took a pause for Awareness to Action. So
we finished season 1 of Awareness to Action.
Yeah. The 141 episode.
3 years later.
Season 1. So I'm just hoping I remember how to do this, how to talk. So I haven't had to do this. So what have you guys been up to the past 4 months?
4 months.
It was a long hiatus, wasn't it?
Lots of work on my end. It's not it hasn't been summer here, so it's just regular working year, some traveling, interesting work.
Yeah, Maria Jose and I were in the UK for a while back in October.
That's right. Yeah. What were you guys doing there?
We were doing work with a client there. So we were there for 10, 11 days, I think, Maria Jose? Yeah. So,
what did you do outside of the work?
We went to the Cotswolds.
Yeah. And Bath.
Yeah.
I liked Bath better.
A hike, I assume?
Yeah,
sure.
Right.
If you can call a hike like going up a hill, driving.
That's true. We
to another pub.
Yeah. Yeah, no. We took a walk in Bath with our friend Pavel, who's a podcast listener and from Scotland. He came down and met us, and we had a nice time. It was a good trip. I spent some time in LA with my wife and one of my sons, and what else? Yeah, so it's been busy. It's been a busy, hectic time. Yeah. How about you, Creek?
I guess, shortly after, I guess that was that the IEA?
Oh, yeah, the IEA conference,
happened. And that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. Me, the Fathoms team, and Lee did a whole podcasting thing at the conference that you should go check out at the IEA podcast, where we recorded a bunch of mini stories with the community there. Turned out to be really fascinating. We had like a massive line when it came to signups. We had to open up another room and another day in order to capture as many as possible. It was pretty crazy, but really, really proud of the team. We pulled it off. And then we also sat down with the likes of Suzanne Stabile, Jerry Wagner, Pat O'Leary, Christopher Copeland, Renee Rosario, Russ Hudson, and Linda Roberts. All the legends there, and Mario, of course.
That's right. Yeah. Now we've covered all the legends. Yeah.
Now we've the list is complete now. So we got to sit down with them, and the whole thing was really less about the theory. Like we said before we hit record, we're not trying to talk about Enneagram here. We're trying to talk about who are you and how has your story informed how you teach the Enneagram. So we got a lot of stories, a lot of really funny things, and some things I've never heard before. So it was really fun. It was a lot of work, but kind of just enjoyed summer and traveled a bit. And I'm actually in Florida right now.
Whereabouts?
Which I am in Tampa at the moment.
Great cigar places in Tampa.
Yes.
Go to Ybor, and I think it's 7th Avenue. There. Okay, yeah.
We went to...
So do you go there every time you're in Tampa, Mario?
Every time I'm in Tampa, I go over to Ybor.
Went to a cigar museum, which is interesting.
Really?
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Headed to Nashville next, and then back home for the holidays. So
Very
yeah.
nice. You're a wandering
All
man.
right.
All right.
Yes.
So do we want
always.
to share why we're doing video now? Because that's a
Oh,
difference.
yes.
Do we have a reason?
Well, I'm not
Do we-
sure, but maybe we want to talk about it, or not.
Yeah. So you will be able to find beginning now. You'll be able to find our YouTube channel at what was I don't even know. You just created it, Mario. What's our YouTube channel called?
ATA Podcast Network. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, ATA Podcast Network. So look it up.
Great. Yeah.
I just
We
created
planned
it
this.
yesterday, So what do you want?
Yeah, so you get to see our jovial faces, our waggish faces, I guess.
Faces.
And
I'll have to be careful. We'll have
if
to be
that's what you're
careful
into.
with the faces we make now.
Yes.
Not forget that
Yeah.
we're being recorded.
We can't. Yes. Yeah, and Mario can't pick his nose all the time. So
Well, I can, but yeah.
you can. Yeah.
ATA Podcast Network. Yes, that's what it is.
There it is. We'll have it in the show notes.
All
Yeah.
right.
So the reason, at least, why I agreed to do it this way, I'm hoping that we feel kind of closer to people. I think that our podcast is, I don't know, for those who listen to it, they enjoy it and they feel like they're with us. With video, I hope that that's even more the case. I tend to watch quite a few podcasts and social media with video, and I'm interested in those things. So maybe people will too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just have to pretend I'm not bored. So that'll be.
Will people be able to see us all at the same time, or one at a time?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll have to make that
gotta
decision.
figure that out.
So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm going to pitch this to you, Maria Jose. So this next season of 142 episodes, what are we doing? What can the people expect?
So we're going to make it really practical. We've talked a lot about theory in the previous season, quite a bit about application as well. But now it's going to be kind of what Mario and I do for a living. It's applying the Enneagram in business through kind of talking about how we do that in terms of the 3 instinctual biases and the 9 strategies. So we're going to be talking about coaching in business with using the Enneagram and with specific applications to the 3 instinctual biases and the 9 strategies.
Yeah. So each episode will be focused on one of those, and we'll talk about coaching preservers, navigators, transmitters, each in their own episode, and then go through each of the types and talk about that, and then go from there. So, so we want it to be practical and hands-on and instructive in that way. So I think people will find some value in it.
Yeah. So if someone is not a coach or doesn't work in business, why should they listen?
Well, they shouldn't. Go get a job. No.
I think that most people
go
have.
Ahead,
do something with their lives, unless you're at home not doing anything. But for anyone who,
except watching podcasts on YouTube,
some kind of activity, they need to influence people. They have a personality, and they might find benefit in kind of how we work with each of these types and the 3 instinctual biases. So they might find use as like the end user, not necessarily as a coach.
Yeah, it's things that people can apply to themselves, right? So when we're talking about coaching 4s, for example, well, the 4s out there can do some of the things we recommend and do some self-coaching. When we work with people, our engagements are limited with them. And, it's not, I have some clients who I've worked with for, over time, for long periods of time, but those are special situations. Usually what we're trying to do is equip people to continue to grow on their own. So, people who listen to this will pick up some tools for their own self-development. And what we do is not just for work, right? I mean, that's, we talk a lot about work because that's how we make our living. But the reality is that what we do applies to using the Enneagram in any area of life, right? Whether it's your own self-development, um, or just about anything. So don't be put off because we're going to be talking about how to coach people. You're a people. So, you can
You're a
coach yourself,
people.
so yeah.
Oh man, that's great. So if people are like, I love the podcast, I want more. I've listened to all the
You
episodes.
want more of that
What,
waggishness. Yeah.
yes. Where else could they learn more about the ATA way of being?
Now, our certification program.
No, you have a
We do.
We do.
program. Huh.
ATAcertification.com. Check it out.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to be doing a couple of other podcasts. We're going to be doing the Enneagram in a Movie podcast is picking back up in January with TJ and I. And then Creek, you and Lee and I are going to be doing something on clear thinking. The first season will probably be clear thinking in the Enneagram, but then clear thinking in general. So lots of places to get more ATA fixes. Including our new YouTube channel,
Exactly.
ATA Podcast Network.
Man, we have so many things to plug right now.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
So you've been doing something. You've been doing a big overhaul on the certification program. Am I right?
We're working on that. Yes, it's still in the works. But Maria Jose and I, how long have we been doing this certification program? It's
13 years.
13 years, really. Wow. And it has gone through lots of iterations. It used to be live in person, like all these things were. They would be, there'd be 3 levels of 5 days each. COVID changed that, right? And even, with COVID, it went through an iteration from a full live online program to, now a lot of pre-recorded content with some live sessions. But we want to continue to keep upgrading it and making it better and making it more engaging and more useful and give people more and more tools. So we are in the process of continuing to update and upgrade the program. So,
Yeah, that's really exciting.
yeah. Anything else we should plug, Maria Jose?
No, I'm just thinking how we make it relevant, these criticizing ideas versus criticizing people, when the whole season is about coaching in business.
Well, I'll say this. I'm excited to, as we've talked about, theory is really important. How we think about the theory, how we define our terms, all those sort of things. That's the past 141 episodes. But I think I'm excited because in this next batch of recordings, we're going to be stepping into more practical, stepping into more actionable, which is the whole point of why we do this work. So I'm curious for you all, is there anything else that you're excited about when it comes to the next batch of recordings?
Yeah, I think that it's what we do like almost every day. And it's fun to talk about it. And I think that the people who study with us in the certification program always value getting to hear how we do the work and examples and things like that. And of course, we need to be careful with confidentiality here, and we will be careful. But sharing things that are useful to the different kind of strategies and instinctual biases and the impact it has on them and all that. It's just, I think it will be interesting to hear, but it's also fun to talk about.
Yeah. We call our company Awareness to Action, and that's because the end is action, right? What are we going to do? How are we going to change? How are we going to grow? all this self-awareness stuff is really just to support that. What we do with our clients is, try to help them live fuller lives. It's fascinating to me, and it's usually people who don't understand the business world. They've never had real jobs, or that sort of thing, who just assume that when you work with people in the business world, you're just dealing with business issues.
Like
You're dealing with
robots.
human issues. Yeah, right. It's you're dealing with humans who have human issues, right? How do I get along better with my coworkers? How do I find more happiness myself? And then we always find people talking about, oh man, I went home and I was talking with my wife about this, and blah blah blah. So we just have the great opportunity to work with people in, kind of out in the field, right? It's kind of like being, like Jane Goodall or something, and going out into the, the real world with real people in their real places and working with them. But it's doing the same kind of stuff that people do to grow and develop in any aspect of their life. So, we're just really looking forward to being able to share that with people.
And when you say people have real jobs, what do you mean by that?
Well, yeah.
No, I think that here we're talking about like
they're not
people who believe that, and I'll repeat what Mario said, but for some reason, and maybe it's not related to the job they have, for some reason, people make this distinction that we work with business, and like if it's something from another planet, and it's just, we work with people, and most of them happen to work in businesses, but it's no real reason to, I think, make that distinction as if they were of another species.
Yeah. And when I say real job, I'm the first one to always tell people that I do what I do so I don't have to get a real job, right? And so, and what I mean by real job is where you kind of have to go in and work as part of a bigger something, right? And there are, bosses that you have to answer to, and subordinates that you have to answer to. And you don't have the freedom to say, you know what, I don't feel like doing this today, so I'm just not. So, when I talk about real jobs, look, almost, everybody does work of some sort or another. But there's a difference between, it's kind of like having a family, right? You can't leave your family necessarily, right? You're stuck with your family. You can't leave them, but you're stuck with them to a greater extent. You can't choose your family necessarily. It's the same thing when people go to work. It's like, I've got to deal with this, right? Because I can't just say, you know what, I'm not doing this tomorrow, or I'm not coming back here. And that puts an added pressure on things. So that's what I mean. I don't mean to denigrate anybody who's not in the corporate world in that sense, because I'm not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Great. Well, we actually had a short episode this time. So maybe because we didn't say it's a short episode at the beginning. So maybe that's the trick. So, all right, folks, we'll talk to you next episode.
All right. So long.